Hey, welcome back to my channel, and this is going to be my New Year's video. I'm going to look at notes, so bear with me. I'm 70 years old, so I got to look at the notes. So first I want to say Happy New Year to everybody. Hope your year was good. Mine was good. I can say I, in general, had a great year. People have stuff happen, we deal with it. So thank you, God, for a great year. I'm grateful. Today we're having friends and family over, so my youngest daughter will be here with a couple of her friends. My son, he's 27, he'll be here with one of his friends. We're going to have my brother-in-law and sister-in-law over, my mother-in-law, my other sister-in-law, and who knows, someone else might show up, so it's going to be fun. We just do a laid-back thing at our house at Quail Ridge Ranch. I cleaned up the barn. It was pretty messy. I'd done the brake job on Laura's car, so there was tools laying all over the floor. And it was pretty messy. But I got it cleaned up. Barn needed to be cleaned anyways. Got the internet fixed, so the wire, we have a hard wire that runs from our house out to the barn, and when it went underneath the deck, some mice or chipmunks or something chewed through the internet wire. So it took me quite a few days. I have a wire tester. I couldn't figure out where the break was. Got that all fixed. In the barn we have a wood stove. We'll have the wood stove going so it'll be toasty warm. We have our internet with a TV, so we're going to hopefully do a little karaoke. We have a karaoke machine with a couple of microphones. The karaoke mixer has got something wrong with it, but I got kind of a workaround, so we'll have to listen to the music through the TV speakers, and the microphone will go through the mixer and come out of my stereo speakers, and it'll work. And of course, like anybody else, we're going to have tons of food, more food than we need. So we're in America, we get used to that. We need to thank God for that. We're not we don't have to worry about finding food, getting a meal. We've actually got too much food. So I guess my thing is, my wife and I both believe this, we don't waste food. Food is a precious resource, so that would be my thing for all the different things that people are going to bring. We'll make sure that we box everything up, people take it back, or we utilize it the next day. We'll save it, so that's good. We have an outdoor fire pit. We'll make a fire outside. We can sit outside tonight. It's not going to be real cold here. We're in mid-Michigan. I believe it's going to be right around the 30 mark. We may or may get an inch or so of snow. That's kind of cool. My one sister-in-law is bringing over a new game. I don't know what the game is, so she says it's something that everybody can play, so that'll be fun. So that's good. So I'm going to talk about my health plan real quick. Not to bore you, but I'm going to tell you something that I'm 70 years old, and one of the things that I was watching, Rob the Mariner, he's one of the YouTube guys that I watch, nice guy, and nice video you put out, Rob, and you were talking a little bit about, I think you said you were 55, and you're starting to having to deal with the fact that you're older. Well, I've got you beat by 15 years, and it's all good, but I have an amazing personal physician that I go to. I collect Social Security, so I'm under Medicare, and I have one of those HAP, I think it's a Advantage plans, and it works great. And I go in once a year for my wellness check. My doctor, he's a caring doctor, Dr. Abraham. I really like him, and he looked at me a few years ago and he said, "John, if there's one thing I can tell you to help you, going forward. This was probably 5 years ago. He said, stay away from sugar. So he's right. I was pre-diabetic, and sugar is something that I can tell you from my own experience. Do it. Sugar is also carbs. So carbohydrates, bread, potatoes, pasta, that turns into sugar eventually. And by quitting the sugar and the carbs, you're going to see a huge difference in so many different areas. And it takes a good 30 days to 60 days for it to happen. I wouldn't have believed it if I didn't do it myself. So I'm going to pass that same bit of wisdom on and tell you, it looks like my audience here is people that are older, over 50, let's say. Maybe there's young people too. I believe this to be true for even little kids. We have way too much sugar. The food industry lied to us and told us that sugar was okay and fat was bad, and it's actually the other way around. But anyways, my health plan is to stay off that. Obviously, I told you I'm a school bus driver, so I don't do drugs of any kind. We're regularly drug tested. Even if we weren't, I wouldn't do it. So that's out. And I quit alcohol. So I wasn't having a problem with alcohol, but alcohol is also sugar. It's carbohydrates. It'll add to it. And I said, you know what, I'm going to stop it for a couple of reasons. One, health reasons. Two, saves a lot of money. And it's kind of cool because I haven't really, every once in a while I'll have a beer, but not much. I mean, 3 beers a year. When you go to a party, you go to a gathering and you don't drink, I know some people say, how can I have a good time? My own personal belief is that if you have to rely on alcohol to have a good time, that's not a good thing. You're not living life. So try it sometime. It's kind of cool. If my wife, she likes to drink a little wine, not a lot, but she enjoys it. We don't even have to think about me driving home late at night. Even if I wasn't worried about getting pulled over, I'm not going to drive when I'm under the influence. But it's kind of cool to party and not drink. It just makes life less complicated. And I've learned to have a great time without it. So I'm just throwing it out there. Give it a try. It's not going to kill you. I like being alive. I can tell you that. So my personal health goals, for multiple reasons. I want to be here for my family. I want to be here for my wife. I want to be here for myself. I believe that when my time has come, then that's up to God. That's not up to me. I want to live the best life that I can. I'm happy. I enjoy being alive. If you ask me, I'd say, yeah, I'd love to live to be 100 years old. So I have no idea how that's going to work out. But my big goals are stay on my keto diet, stay away from preservatives, stay away from any kind of pre-prepared foods. So my wife and I, we prepare all our foods from scratch. We don't do any fast food. We rarely go out to eat at a restaurant. We eat really good. So we buy a quarter of a cow from our neighbor. We've been buying for them from 20 years. It's the most beautiful beef you've ever seen. We also buy one pig every year. We try to eat clean, and it makes a big difference. I need to lose weight. I went to a cardiologist, had myself checked out. He said, you need to lose 50 pounds. So that's a goal, and I'm okay with that. So I need to start walking. Walking is going to get me in shape and make me healthy. So that is one of my 2025 goals. Clean food, no preservatives. Also, we're going to try to eat more homegrown foods. My wife is a gardener. I support her in the gardening. We have property. I told you before, we live on 5 acres, so we have lots of property. We just have to build some gardens. She does quite a bit. We're going to expand that a little bit. So my wife is also into a lot of natural stuff. So she's into making tinctures, oxymels, different teas. And we'll do a video explaining quite a bit of that when she's ready. She's very busy right now doing all this stuff. But I can tell you, and I think I mentioned it before, we literally eat the plants off our lawn. We don't put any weed killer on. We eat the dandelions. We harvest mullein. We make different tinctures out of hawthorn berries and spruce tip bud tinctures and just a multitude of things. My wife got a couple of super good books, 2 or 3 books, from my son for Christmas this year. And he did the research. He's a smart guy, and he found the best books explaining how to make all this stuff, and it's got it all listed. So Laura's pretty excited about that. But yeah, I'm going to support her in the gardening and her getting organized. Let's talk about bus driving. So a big part of my life is my job. At 70 years old, I explained my little journey on if you look on my my other video, my career background, it talks a little bit about how I went out when I was 65, tried to get a job, blah, blah, blah. No one wanted to hire me. Yep, I was disappointed. I was hurt. Wah, wah, wah. I got over that. You know what? God had another path for me. I became a bus driver. Didn't have any idea what this thing was about. I know that it's on the news. There's a big bus driver shortage. If you or someone you know is thinking about becoming a bus driver, consider it. I'll tell you, it's a job. It is a job. There's a big thing that you have to go through. You have to pass a DOT exam. You have to do a background check by the state police to make sure you're not a criminal. You have to pass drug tests. You cannot have anything on your driving record at all. You have to have a good driving record. You have to be a good driver. You have to be comfortable driving a 40-foot school bus. And it's work. Trust me, I get up at 4:30 in the morning. I like getting up early, so I have an advantage over a lot of people, but it's still work. I mean, whether I like it or not, I gotta get up. I gotta go to bed at 8:30, 9 o'clock, the latest. And to get up early, I gotta be well rested. I have to be well fed and have a routine that's going to work for me. I work for 3 hours in the morning, I come home for 4 hours, and I go back out for 3 more hours. So it's 3, I don't know if you'd call them intense, they are for me, in a good way, 3 hours. And then I come home and then I go pick the kids up at school and drop them off. And I have 2 loads, so I do 1 load of older kids and 1 load of younger kids. So I do middle school and high school, that's a load. And then I do preschool up to grade school, that's a load. Altogether I have about 75 kids. And I'm going to skip around here a little bit, but I'll tell you I cannot film. So my plan was to film inside the bus yard, show you the buses, film inside. I know I could never film the kids because that's not allowed to have them on social media, but it looks like our policy at our school district is I can't film at all. So that's fine. That's great. I totally respect that decision. We'll do a workaround. We can do something without doing that kind of filming, and we'll do that. The stories that I'll tell you down the road, I hope you subscribe, because I got to tell you, to me it's just another work day, but as I do this I'm realizing the bus driving part of it for me is dealing with these kids. I have 75 kids from preschool up to seniors in high school. Imagine that range. It's like I have 75 grandchildren. And I know that the first thing I get when people say, "What are you doing, John?" "I'm a bus driver." "Oh, I could never do that." Yes, you could. If you like kids, if you enjoy them, you like being with people, if you want to make a difference, you could do this. For me, yeah, getting in an ice-cold bus in the wintertime, Our buses don't have air conditioning. It's like a hot box. You boil to death in the summer. Big deal. That's, that's just life. It's not going to kill you. For me, the rewarding, I guess would be the best word for it, is getting to be with these kids every single day. And think about it. I have 75 kids, and I'm with them for a good 2.5 to 3 hours in the morning, 2.5 to 3 hours in the afternoon, 5 days a week. I spend a lot of time with the same kids. I have the same route, and it's great. It means I get to know the kids. I know what's going on in their lives. I can see it when they get on the bus. I hear them talking, and they come to me now. And the biggest compliments I get, I had one girl say that the kids when I started driving, my boss said, you need to decide what are you going to have the kids call you, Mr. Quayle or Mr. John. I picked Mr. John, so they call me Mr. John, and it's kind of cool because I hear that voice, Mr. John, Mr. John. And the kids are looking for guidance. Mr. John, so-and-so is pushing me out of the seat. Or Mr. John. And they'll ask me a question. And like I said, the stories are amazing. So if that's something that sounds like it would interest you, you can learn how to drive. You can study for the test, the DOT test. Yeah, you gotta, like I said, you've got to back up a 40-foot school bus with air brakes and learn how to do all the safety checks and fill out all the sheets, and anybody can do that. I guess what I would say is if you're thinking that you want to have this relationship with your kids on your bus, then I think you ought to consider it. When I get on my bus and that volume level comes up, to me, I get like a grin on my face. It's really wild because that sound to me is the same sound as when I hear a baby cry. That's the sound of life. These kids have been penned up in school all day. Now they're together on a 40-foot school bus. They're socializing, they're having fun, they're talking about their adventures during the day. And yeah, there's fighting and crying, and that's part of life that happens. I'm sure that my experiences are a lot like the teachers. I actually missed the kids. I've been on vacation for 2 weeks now. We go back on January 6th, so I get a 2-week off. And I've gotten used to being around them, It's kind of cool. So I mentioned that we had a snow day the day before Christmas vacation started, and when I went down to get the mail that day, one of the kids had left a Christmas gift for me in the mailbox, and I can't tell you how cool that was, how it made me feel. It's just amazing. She's a very quiet person, this girl, but she's a good girl, and like I said, it touched me. It said to me, yep, getting up every day when it's pouring rain out at 4:30 in the morning when I'm a little tired, it's worth it. The gifts that I get from the kids at the end of the year and the Christmas time, it's not only from the kids, because especially the little kids, it's from their parents. It's the recognition. When I pick the kids up and I open that side door and the parent sends their child into that bus and looks at me and says, gives me the thumbs up, waves, says good morning. Some of them say thank you. They just look at me and say thank you. It reaffirms to me the responsibility that they're turning over to me. Imagine you're trusting your children with the bus driver that's taking them to school. I'm telling you what it feels like from my side. So that's the part of the driving the bus that's, I guess you could say it's something you got to be up to doing. Because once you start doing this and you have a full load and you look in that mirror and you look back and you realize the responsibility, if you get in a truck accident, a bus accident, you're being entrusted with the lives of these children. Accept it, do it. So make it work, and it's great. I've also learned, because I worked for over 40 years before I started this last, I'm going to call it my last job. It won't be my last job, but end of my career here. That I always worked for myself, so now I'm working with a bunch of other people. It's like a little mini society, and I always say, I love acronyms. I say LP. LP stands for LP Smart Side Lap Siding. You put it on houses, but my meaning is a little different. I like the word smart side. It means low profile. I try to keep a low profile at work. Don't get involved in any of the drama. Just come in, do my job. I'm not there to become friends and socialize with everybody at work. I'm there to drive that bus, and my goal. So, but anyways, that's the bus driving part. And now I'm going to talk about my YouTube goals, and they're pretty simple. First, I want to come clean with you and tell you right now, I'm liking it. I've learned how to work the camera. I did 35mm photography when I was in high school, so I'm a little familiar with still pictures, but I've never done video before. I do like tech stuff. But the editing, the video editing, I'm struggling with it. I'm using DaVinci. It's a great program, and that's the one I chose. I looked at all these different ones, Adobe Premiere Pro and CapCut and other ones. That's the one that I picked, and yeah, I'm happy with it, and I'm going to keep moving forward. But I am moving slow, and I was just talking to my wife about that when you're at this age, things take longer. So I don't have anybody to show me how to do it. I'm learning it. I go on the internet, each feature that I want to do, I Google it, find a video on YouTube, go look at it, and do it. So it takes me a little longer, so bear with me. My videos are not the greatest as far as editing. I like the editing, and my goal is I want to become really good at it. So I've watched tons of YouTubes on how to do YouTube, and nothing's really changed. I'm doing it my way. So you're never going to see any politics or anything like that talked on YouTube. Not on my channel. I'm not going to do that. So have fun trying to figure out what political affiliation I am, if I am any. But I am going to talk about faith, my personal beliefs, my goal to promote integrity in the world, and goodness. Yes, I am going to use YouTube for that, because that's why I'm doing it. So yes, I guess I'm telling you I'm going to do it my way, and hope you like it. I know right now there's this thing out there about easy mode, meaning you can put out anything and everybody's going to watch it. I don't really care about that. I'm not, like I said, I'm not being driven on YouTube by how much money I'm going to make, if I ever get monetized or I don't, how many views, this, that. It's about, I want to bring good content, but I want to bring the content that I have decided I'm going to bring, because, again, YouTube for me is a vessel to do this. And, I guess that's it. So, it's kind of a take it or leave it thing, right? I hope you guys love it and take it and subscribe, and it'd be great, because then I know I'm getting through to people. And I think that you can tell. If you're being honest, I'm going to be as honest as I can. So, and I've always been kind of a pragmatic, upfront, honest kind of a guy, and I'm not going to change that. So, thanks again for watching my video. I could tell I'm getting some subscriptions and some people watching, and I'm going to be 1,000% honest in everything. So if I can't do something or I'm not doing it well, I'm going to come clean and tell you. I'm not afraid. Too old for that. I want to help others. I'm on a promoting good in my little section of the world that God lets me affect. That's how I feel. That is my little theory here. So that's the theory that I take on the bus as a bus driver. How can I promote good to help the kids? And God's going to guide me on that. So it's pretty cool. Anyways, that's it. That is all, as we say. Thanks for watching this video. Thanks for watching my videos. Subscribe if you like it. Give me a like if you like this video. Comment. I would love to get some more comments. I haven't gotten just a few. I will try to answer unless I get billions of them, and I can't. Again, I'll be honest and tell you I can't answer, but I'm at the point where I can answer any comment. And I want the comments. The comments are feedback. And, try to tell me. Please don't get mean with the comments. But if you do, I'm a big guy. It's not going to kill me. I'll figure it out. I'll probably ignore the meanness, because they say on the internet you get these trolls and stuff, but who cares? That's life. Life is good. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next year in 2025. Adios.